Wild Coast FM, your community connection.
It's time for Sandy Sizzles. Good morning, Sandy.
Hello, Finola. How are you today?
Well, thanks. How are you?
No, all well, thank you. And hello to everybody listening out there. Nice to be here again today.
Yes.
Not a bad day outside.
It's a little bit cloudy and overcast, but I think it's nice to have a little bit of cooler weather.
That's right.
Yesterday
And maybe
was sticky and humid.
maybe we'll get some rain later on.
Yes, to fill our water tanks again.
That would be a good idea.
Yes. So what are you chatting about today?
Well, I'm going to start off with a cheesy cornbread.
Oh, nice.
I see, this was in an article I saw, that Spa had, it's like an advert type thing, that they're having a neighbourhood day on the 6th of November.
Oh, yes, where you celebrate your neighbours.
Where you celebrate your neighbours.
Yes.
As you say, sometimes you've got good ones, sometimes you've got bad ones.
That's it.
But let's just remember that there are a lot of people that around that you could be.
And that everybody is different, so you have to put up with those differences.
That's
regardless.
right. And you know what? It's nice to be able to chat to some people sometimes.
Exactly.
If you're all by yourself, sometimes somebody just walks past, say, hi, how are you doing? Whatever,
it.
just makes a bit of a difference.
Absolutely.
But anyway, this might be quite a nice bread to give somebody, or somebody that's moved in next door, and you just want to say welcome to them.
Absolutely.
You know, or even just for yourselves to have, which I think is a jolly good idea because it's a very nice recipe.
I love cornbread. Very, very nice.
So, but this one you use some millipop with.
Okay.
So I found this quite interesting. And so this is a bread that serves about 6 people.
Okay.
And you start off with a cup of braai pap.
Yes.
So you get a pap that they call braai pap. I've
Yes,
seen it in
okay.
the Spa. And this does say it's a Spa brand, so maybe they will definitely have it at our little Spa here. And then a cup of cake flour, 4 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/4 cup of whole sweet corn kernel. Now, you can buy the fresh ones and just chop it off.
Okay.
A 1/4 cup's not a lot.
No, it'll be a small can if you buy a can.
Yeah, and you know, not the creamed kind if you're going to buy the
Yes.
tinned.
Yes, it's got to be the whole bits.
And then just 60 grams of grated cheddar cheese, which is not too much either. 1 large egg, a cup of milk, and 45 grams of butter or margarine melted, and 200 grams of streaky bacon chopped.
That will be nice.
That will
Yes.
add a nice little bit of something to it. Now, you preheat your oven to 180, and in a large bowl, combine the pap mixture. Flour, what? You don't call it flour, do you? Pap.
Millipap, yeah.
Millipap.
You would be,
Yeah, anyway, but not the cooked one, okay? It
Yes,
must be
yes.
raw, okay.
Still powder form.
That's right. Cake flour, your sugar, your baking powder, your whole corn kernels, and your cheddar cheese. And then you whisk the egg and the milk and 30 grams of the butter in a separate bowl. And the butter is melted. Just leave a little bit for spreading on the top.
Okay.
And then you heat the remaining butter, you use the remaining butter in a 20 centimeter cast iron skillet. Now, not everybody's got a cast iron thing that can go into the
Into the oven.
oven.
Yes.
I know, because I don't know if I've got a pan that's got a handle that can go into the oven.
That's
Not
true,
everybody does have. So what I would do, I think you could always make a little bit of put it in a baking pan afterwards.
I think today, with modern people today that are cooking, most people don't have a skillet.
No.
So probably I would personally use the baking
Yes.
pan.
So in the meantime, though, just heat a little bit of butter in a pan and fry the bacon for 5 to 7 minutes until it's crispy, and then take the bacon out with a slotted spoon, and then keep that fat that came from the bacon.
Okay, we'll juice
In the
it.
meantime, fold your dry ingredients into wet ingredients with the crispy bacon until it's well combined.
Okay.
And then it says pour the batter into the same skillet. So what you're going to do is
I
take
see.
that bit of fat
Yes,
that's left in the
that's smoky,
pan,
oil stuff.
and put it in your baking container, whatever you're going to use, a
Okay.
20 centimeter baking pan as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
And then it says cover it with foil and bake it for 30 minutes or until it's cooked and golden brown.
Now, I must admit, I've done this before, like a similar recipe, and I didn't cover it in foil. Now, what happens if you don't put foil over it is it gets too crispy and brown on the top.
Okay.
And if you, by putting the foil on, it evenly cooks and it still retains a bit of the moisture on the top. So it doesn't go too brown.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Otherwise, it dries it out terribly.
Okay, yes. So you see, that's a good to see that they say cover it with foil.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's quite a nice loaf and
That's very
something,
nice, yes.
something. Even if you're having a braai, I think that's very nice to have with a braai.
Different, yes.
And maybe you can invite your neighbours. There we go.
There we go.
If you don't want to give it to them anyway. But that, I think, is quite a nice idea and easy, not too difficult, not too expensive.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
Because you're not using a lot of cheese or a lot of corn.
Exactly.
So it's just giving it that added zing. I think the corn and the cheese.
And as you say, it serves 6 people, so it goes quite far as well.
It goes quite far, yes.
There you go.
And then I've got some things here. Sometimes you buy some ham. And there's 1 or 2 slices left over, or there's a little bit left over, you don't know what to do with it. These are some quite good ideas what to do with ham.
That's a good
And it doesn't actually have to be left over.
Okay.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, these baked breakfast cups, I would just buy ham to do that.
Okay.
You just take...
Breakfast cup, I like the sound of this, yes.
You take slices of ham and you tuck them into lightly greased cups of a muffin pan, and then you crack an egg into each cup, and you bake that for 15 to 20 minutes or until the eggs are cooked to your liking. I would have the oven at 180. Okay? And then you season them and serve them on toast for a yummy breakfast. Now, that's quite nice if you've got a lot of people. And I mean, say you've got 12 people for breakfast.
But Sandy, you're going to need to grease those out, because with the ham, will the ham not stick inside those little muffins?
No, you must grease it, yes. It's got to be
I was
greased.
just thinking.
It says you must grease them, so, it's a good idea to grease it.
Because I do a similar one where I put it in, I take a glass, cut out a piece of bread,
Yes.
and you line it with the bread, then you put, obviously greasing it first, then you put your little piece of ham, then you put your egg.
Okay.
And when it crisps, it's got it's in like a little toast shell.
So that's also a jolly good idea.
Oh.
So, and as you say, if you've got a lot of people and you make 12 at once,
Exactly.
Don't have to worry about standing frying eggs.
And the nice thing with this is you can use all sorts of little leftovers. You got some tomato,
absolutely,
got a little bit of mushrooms, green pepper.
Absolutely, jolly good idea. And then what's a good idea? I think it's quite a clever idea, is for lunchbox snack wraps, which I think is brilliant.
Yes.
You can take little, slice some white cheddar, some carrots, baby cucumbers, and some lettuce if you want to, into evenly sliced sticks. Okay, I would leave the lettuce out, because if it's going to school in a lunchbox,
That's
it's going
true,
to
the
wilt
wilt.
quickly. Yeah. And you put a selection of these prepared vegetables and the cheese into the middle of a slice of ham and roll it up, sort of like a wrap.
Okay.
And then put that into your lunchbox for the kids for a healthy snack.
That's a good idea.
There's no bread. There's that lovely ham and those crunchy veggies, which I think is a brilliant idea. I also think this is a nice idea to put out for little snacks with drinks.
Well, it's a great way to get the kids to eat their veggies.
Absolutely. And nice way to make use of things like leftover hams, and you can do all sorts of things with ham, can't you?
Exactly. It's very versatile.
And often at the Spar shop they do have it on special.
Yes.
So it's quite nice. You can get some and make yourself a pasta dish.
Even when you mention those little mini pizzas as well, same
Yes.
idea. You can use the ham on that.
Absolutely. So very good idea to use that.
Oh, goody. Okay. Sandy, I have a question for you. A listener would like to know if the pup millie bread can be done on the braai fire and in a cast iron pot.
Yes, I don't see why not. Definitely, I think you could do that. It might be a good idea, like they do when you make a pot bread, is to take a couple of the coals and put it on the top of the pot as well.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, for the heat.
Yes, so that it's sort of
surrounding.
even. Yes, that you've got to heat at the top
And
as
then
well.
time frame for that would be more or less the same?
I would
Just
think
keep an
it
eye
would
on it?
just keep an eye on it, but I think it would be more or less the same.
Perfect.
I think it's a good idea, that actually, because that's a cast iron pot, just what you need.
Fantastic. So if you
Yes.
have one, then utilize it in
Yes,
that way.
absolutely, good idea.
There we go.
Yes.
All right. So
Now I'm gonna-
you've got some delicious recipes
Yes,
with
so
bananas.
I'm talking about bananas now. And bananas are really very good for us.
Yes.
They've got a lot of potassium in them, and that helps circulate the oxygen, and keep us more alert, apparently.
Yes, good for study time now, coming up.
Absolutely. And you mentioned a few things that...
They're fantastic for heartburn and stomach ulcers. If
I
you've got
didn't
any
even know
stomach
that.
ailments, they actually settle your stomach lining.
Oh, my word, that's interesting to know. And it says here that they're also mood-regulating substances.
There we go.
And it releases a stuff called tryptophan, which makes you feel more happy.
Well, there we go. So instead of a chocolate, have a banana.
Absolutely. We'll have to all rush out and buy some bananas. But I have to admit, lately they've been quite expensive, but I suppose it's worth it.
Well, it depends what you're going to be doing with them. I suppose, as you were
Absolutely.
saying, one banana is your serving, so it'll keep you going for the day.
Yes.
And if you're going to do a sort of a banana bread, you maybe need only 2 or 3 bananas.
That's
so
right.
It's all equates.
And, you know, please remember that if the bananas get a little bit ripe, if you're not going to make them into a banana
bread or
anything
use it in a
like
recipe.
that,
Oh.
freeze them, and then they're so nice to use in smoothies.
That's a good idea, yes.
So you're not going to lose them. You know, you freeze them, the skin is black, but that makes no difference. You take it out and just remove the skin and use it for a smoothie.
I should have thought about that.
Yes.
Very good idea. I
It's a-
actually
it's a
forget
good
that you
idea.
can freeze a lot of fruit with grapes, for example. You
That's
can freeze.
right. And you know, even if you've got a couple of things like a banana and an apple and something that's not looking as clever as it did, but is still nothing much wrong with it, chop that all up, put it together in a little paper cup or in a container, put it into the freezer, and then when you want to make a smoothie, which is very good for you for breakfast,
Absolutely.
or any time of the day actually,
Yes.
then you can take that out and it's nice and chilled.
And it's already chopped up for you.
And it's already chopped up for you, and you can use it like that.
Fantastic.
But now I've got a recipe here for banana donuts.
Oh.
And these are so easy to make and really yummy. The kids will enjoy these.
imagine.
You need 1 extra large egg, 1 ripe banana peeled and mashed, 2 to 4 tablespoons of milk, a 1/4 cup of caster sugar, and 1 1/3 cups of self-raising flour. It's about 200 grams.
Okay.
And a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. And then you need a bit of vegetable oil for frying and a teaspoon of cinnamon and sugar. So it's going to be covered in cinnamon and sugar afterwards.
Oh, that wouldn't be a donut if it wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. And so you beat your egg, your banana, your milk, and your caster sugar until it's well combined. Then sift over your flour, your baking powder, and your salt and mix it well. And then heat 4 centimeters of oil in a deep pan and fry teaspoon-sized balls of mixture until they're golden, crispy, and cooked through. Just drain that on some kitchen paper and then make your mixture of a teaspoon of caster sugar and cinnamon on a large plate and roll the donuts in the mixture and serve that immediately.
Is it a good idea to roll the donuts when they're still warm?
Yes.
Okay.
They must be.
Will the caster sugar adhere better?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
And then and it's good to eat them when they're warm.
Yes.
See, very nice there.
Okay, perfect.
So, another thing that I found I really liked this idea was banana French toast. Now, I think this
mentioned
is
this
a
one,
jolly good idea.
yes.
You thinly slice a peeled banana, then you lay slices over a piece of white bread and sandwich it with another slice.
Okay.
Then you beat 2 eggs with a glug of milk and you dip your sandwich into the mixture and you heat a knob of butter and a little bit of oil in a pan and fry your sandwich till it's golden all over. And you drizzle that with golden or maple syrup and serve that.
Very
I think
nice.
that's lovely.
Do you know, some people really, I don't, but some people love bacon and banana.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking that would work really well for that.
Yes, absolutely. I also enjoy bacon, but don't you enjoy
I don't.
that?
I really don't. I can't mix salty or savory with sweet.
Oh, okay.
I think ever
but
since I
this
was
is a
small,
good
right.
idea. This for this French toast, and nice for when the kids come home from school.
Yes,
Healthy.
that's
the
another-
banana. Okay, and they get a bit of sweetness just to jazz them all
Especially
up.
if kids like a warmer lunch, if it's a little bit of a cooler day.
Yes. But it's nice, and for breakfast, if you got the energy and the time,
Even a
these
Sunday
days,
morning breakfast instead of
that's
pancakes.
a good idea
Yes.
on Sunday morning. Yes, I think that's a good idea, and you do also know that if you store unripe avos with bananas, they ripen quicker.
I did hear something about
Yes.
that. Something about the gas release and the
Yes.
between the two fruits.
So that's quite a good idea to remember too. Sometimes you get these rock hard avos, and you're dying for an avo, so to hasten up the process.
I know, I'm just thinking yesterday I threw another one away because I was so frustrated and impatient with the Evo.
Oh, no, you mustn't be like that.
I know, it's terrible and it's a waste of money because they're so expensive as
They
well.
are. So try and add a few bananas there
Right.
into the container.
There we go.
Keep them ready, and then there you go. You've got all these sorts of things you can fix.
Perfect.